one or two examples which I can show is the chas trolley here. What we used to see as kids is Dad used to sit down in the kitchen on Sundays and create a chas out of a smoked variety of coal and all that. We saw flambés and gyrodons and all that in our revival and the 5-star training and everything we went through. We said, why not we take a cue from that and do something with Rajdhani. So what we did was we got this entire platter and the smoked chas into Rajdhani, and when the flames go up in the restaurant, there is always this demonstration effect about guests saying, oh, I saw the flame there, what's that, give me. So we came out with this trolley, and now this is across all the 25 Rajdhanis. This trolley is existent and the chas is made a la minute.
You know what is fascinating about India is A, the multiplicity of cuisines, and second, this new generation of restaurants seem to be discovering the fact that regional cuisine can be made into a fine dining concept. You know, you've got a whole host of others in the sphere. Let's quickly have a look at some of them and come back and see how they actually managed to do this. It's a melange of tastes, cuisines and cultures, and if you love food, there is no place like here or any big city in India for the sheer variety of it all. As cities expand and more people move out of the comfort of their homes and home-cooked food, entrepreneurs are cashing in on the lure of ghar ka khana, packaged well with a dash of nostalgia and huge dollops of culture. So if Rajdhani is marketing the food of Gujarat or Calcutta is taking Bengali food to a new level. Scores of the smaller restaurants like this popular chain in Mumbai get you the whole Konkan coast on a platter.
It's trying to expose the myth that Indian food is not only Mughlai, Tandoori, Chinese. South Indian is not just idli, dosa, sambar. All South Indian are not madrasis. All Goans are not D'Souza's, Ferrandis. You know, 66% Goans are Hindus and eat veg food also. And of course the other D'Souzas are Mangaloreans and East Indians like a manager. And then we started the Diva Maharashtra, where we are trying to prove that all Maharashtrians are not Ghati that don't eat vada pav and misal pav.
No wonder then that these restaurants go out of their way to market not just their food but also culture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rajdhani extends the khatir of hospitality by even inviting you inside its kitchen to see work in progress. And when we did, we found the owner's wife supervising the fair. You've of course been very involved in the entire project and you are the cook, the brains behind the menu. How much research goes into something like that?
Research it's a hell of a job. Like wherever we go in the interiors of the region, Baroda, it's Bombay, Goa, Delhi, anywhere, we always talk about food and food.
For these men and women, marketing regional cuisine as a fine dining option, it is the world of opportunity as long as they are willing to take the challenge and go beyond just food to package a way of life. Well, what a spread, Kamlesh, and you know, there is a science behind all of this. Apart from the ghee, which is of course, according to yoga, very good. Tell us, what is the science behind this? I mean, there's a multiple spread on my plate, as you can see. So how does it go?
There's the art and the science both with it. The art is that you have a lot of colors and a lot of different ingredients to look at in the food. But the science behind it is, in the catering colleges, there's a menu planning subject, and we all are made to learn it by heart. A few things that come out of the menu planning exercises: we should use the same family of ingredients, we should have a color variety, we should not use the same style of preparation in food. So all that actually translates into making the menus in a la carte restaurant. But in Rajdhani, what happens is it can straight away come as variety of.
But you know, the other thing about cuisine like this is that it's painstakingly made. Now, as you've expanded, how do you maintain quality? I mean, how do you maintain the taste? That's tough.
What we do is we have a corporate office which has a set pattern of doing this. We have 20th as the cut-off date, where our research, including my wife and the creative team, they come out with the menu, and that trial menu is then emailed to each and every outlet. So all 40 of them get a menu on the 20th. They have to come back to Bombay on the 25th for a chef meeting with whatever suggestions they have, whatever queries they have on an actual way of preparing the food item that is put on the menu. When they sit together on the 24th, the chef actually demonstrates how a new dish is to be made. Or if they have any kind of alterations to be made, they do all of that on the 25th. And on the 1st, the menu is then rolled off to each outlet. They have a copy of the menu before the 1st of each month. And everybody makes that same dish in the same way across the country. And
But you can do that in your own shops or your own restaurants. You can't ensure quality constantly, because this is one business where if you turn off one customer, he's not going to come back.
Yes, and he's going to badmouth to 10 of them, and if he likes the food, he's only going to tell 2 or 3 of them. But
You sound very cynical.
in our business, what happens is when the quality cell moves around places to places, and we have a full committee which is there at the corporate office. They reach every outlet unannounced and then check the quality, and whatever operations need to be done in the kitchen or the service, they make sure that everything is speaking.
Let's rewind a little. We spoke about how Rajdhani came about, but how did the spread really happen? Because what is interesting is that you only own one restaurant in Mumbai, and that's the one at Crawford Market that we started with. The others are all done through franchisees or now through your company. Take us through how the expansion happened.
When we got the Ishwar Bhavan or the Crawford Marketplace, it was the legacy that came from that. And when we started building up, we started going back to Baroda, making hotels and restaurants there, come back to Bombay, get franchisees in Vietnam and Australia and all those. And by that time, when we had done enough of restaurants of a la carte, enough of Rajdhanis, we had my father's friend who was Mr. Goenka. They came together and said, let's expand this even further. And that's how we set up this Encore company and the corporate office. And then slowly by slowly, each thing started transforming into a full system-based concept, where today it works ceaselessly without any human intervention. It's all system run.
And most of the franchisees, just getting back to the franchisees, were not restaurateurs or businessmen. In many cases, they were actually doctors or dentists who would set up shop, wanted to share with your success.
Yes.
I mean, was it, were you wary of getting people like that attached to the Rajdhani name?
Fascinating to have jewelers like the Tribundas Bimji for this outlet, or getting electronics guys, or get doctors asking for a franchise, because they would have at some point of time waited in a queue outside of Rajdhani and said, well, I would like to do this business and share the kind of profile of being the owner of Rajdhani also. And for us, it became a very good way to transform business, because expertise from them, like the doctor who helps us doing a nutritional bit in our menu plan, it takes off in the corporate to bring in a better offering from these franchisees. And being non-restaurant people, we don't have to unlearn a lot of things to them. They actually are a clean slate, so they start off with whatever we say and they transform the business beautifully well.
So what drives it? What drives this growth? I mean, you know, one could be satisfied with the success that you have. A 50-55 crore turnover is not bad. What compels you to go to the next 3 levels, for instance?
It's actually a momentum which gathers after a point of time where tomorrow if a friend of mine comes over and says, I bought a property, I need you to manage it, and you can't tell me no. So a lot of compulsion drives it in the beginning, but then after that it's more of a demonstration effect where people come in and say, I need a restaurant in Fiji, and you've got to send your guys to come over and do a place in my mall, because I would want to do a Rajdhani in a remote place as far as Asia Pacific. So today it's something which we cannot shy away, we cannot retrace, we cannot.
So you're saying the momentum of the business has taken it to the next levels on its own. It's not that you have planned and said, okay, for my daughter I want to leave something, or for my son I want to leave a bigger empire, not that.
It's not that as the idea. The passion or the fire on the belly had been there with the concept of giving Indian food and Indian service, Indian ambience and Indian culture. Now that in itself is so strong that it becomes a demonstration for any and everybody Indian staying maybe in US, maybe in UK, maybe in the downtown Australia, but it's something which has its own passion of bringing roots back into it.
How is the next couple of years likely to pan out?
I'm looking at this as your shows on the first-run entrepreneurs and people who started off businesses. For me, I've been talking to my colleagues in the association and the various formats. There's one thing about starting your own business with a clean canvas, and there's one thing about taking something which has already been half done and then taking it to a certain high where it's even transformed.
And in this case, it wasn't even half done, honestly. I mean, it was a very basic.
Yes. The scratch had already started off. We didn't have to really slog out like a first-run entrepreneur. But doing this also requires a lot of transformation, a passion to bring in concepts which have been talked about into real transformations and food, service, ambience, all of this.